Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're delighted to be previewing Boardquest, Tales of Liria by Behzad Ramez and Ramez Games. This is a strategy RPG game that will be available both digitally as a computer game as well as a Kickstarter physical board game in the coming months. It's set in the land of Liria, where multiple factions such as humans, orcs, elves and demons, all with their own unique set of spells, units and abilities, vie for control. This is a game for 2 to 4 players, where 4-player games can either opt for a free-for-all, everyone against each other, or a 2v2 team scenario. Each player controls a singular hero unit that has access to special spells and abilities, as well as being able to recruit up to 3 other character units, such as an archer, a healer, and a mounted knight unit in the case of the humans. These units form the army of the different factions and can support each other in various ways, such as healers providing support, archers being able to fire over other units, and mounted units serving as a mobile, rapid reserve. Players win the game by conquering other heroes, by controlling up to 7 forts, or depriving an opponent of their last fort. This game takes its inspiration from tabletop games such as Dungeons & Dragons and Das Schwarze Auge, known as the Dark Eye in Germany. But it also reminds me, in a very good way, of the Blizzard game Warcraft 3, as it has great RTS vibes with monsters serving as hazards and a leveling up mechanic that you can apply to your heroes depending on enemies fought or treasures gained, and a paid upgrade system that you can apply to your units with the monetary spoils of your victories. The map is a modular one, with 4 sets of 7 hexagonal tiles given to each player. At the start of the game, players take turns creating the map 1 tile at a time. Each tile differentiates with certain tiles presenting terrain such as mountains, providing a bonus to defense, water and negative to defense, or forestry, such as preventing range attacks. There are also treasure chests and monster tiles, both of which serve as a resource for players to compete over, as both give players items and experience in which to equip their armies and their heroes with. Players then place a starting fort and 3 neutral forts each on the board. Forts serve 2 purposes, both as a staging point for recruited character units and as an income for the player on their turn. Each player has an income of 5 gold per round, with an extra gold per fort captured. This is offset by -1 gold for every army unit in an upkeep tax. So players who rapidly expand an army without seizing forts or defeating monsters will soon find their economies unable to keep up with the other players, who can spend excess gold on new items or upgrading a military unit. This is why the game reminds me so much of a tabletop RTS or real-time strategy game, and of Warcraft 3 in particular. Chasing monsters and treasure is a distraction that can cost or win you the game depending on how combat goes. And it happened in several of our playtested games that monsters ended up becoming a major hindrance or asset in a battle raging with 2 factions. I would use an archer to trigger a monster and then bravely run away, as it were, allowing it to attack my opponent's unit instead, as it responded to the attack upon it. Monsters do not discriminate and attack the unit closest to them, not the unit that attacked them. It is also essential to guard your heroes. Whilst they are frequently the most powerful unit, they are also the linchpin of your army. If your hero is slaughtered, your units collapse and you lose the game. Treasure chests and looted monsters also provide your characters with items ranging from shields, swords, bows and amulets, all of which have significant modifiers upon your character's stats. There are 3 tiers to the items: common, uncommon and rare, and one must be leveled up sufficiently in order to use them. On one occasion, Eric had a level 3 rare item known as the Frostfang that he could not use, but upon slaughtering my demon hero, leveled up sufficiently to utilize it, and then turned on poor old Tony with a vengeance, who had no chance with these common tier items. Despite the game having strong RTS vibes, it's a turn-based game that does not get bogged down in protracted stalemates. Once a hero is slaughtered, the army is effectively defeated, so when two players engage or one player is forced into an engagement, the game is generally decided upon within a few rounds. It also gives me solid RTS vibes because a good deal of early game is trying to level up your hero and upgrade your army units as fast as possible, and regardless of whether you're ready or not, your opponents will be coming for you. That was my favourite thing about this game. It felt very much like a quick-fire, streamlined RTS with my opponents being literally right in front of me. All cards and items are played face-up for other players to peruse, so that downtime and analysis paralysis are at a minimum. It's a game that caught me quite by surprise in how effectively it captured the RTS vibe and how much I enjoyed it, where my opponents were face-to-face as opposed to just being voices on a computer screen. It's the first board game to fully capture the quick-paced vibe of an RTS so effectively. I cannot honestly think of another game that embodies the essence of a Warcraft 3 style RTS so completely and efficiently for me. The dice roll mechanic also brought in a good element of luck and chance that computer game modifiers rarely account for. So despite having all the supposed advantages, a good or a bad dice roll can still enable you to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, as it were, with both critical hits and misses still being possible. Familiarity, of course, ensures that subsequent playthroughs become faster, and what I liked best was that even the laying of the modular tiles before the game even began became a significant part of your early game strategy, as you could strategically place monsters or terrain spaces as natural barriers between you and your opponents, or place them as close as possible to your own starting fort in order to avail of their loot and experience as early as possible. This game not only launches on Kickstarter in February 2024, but is also available right now on Steam as a demo for you to try. This is a unique, clever and extremely efficient little game that I genuinely urge you to check out and try. Until next time, this is Sean from The Lucky Roll. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, good luck, God bless, and stay safe.